Anyways, please welcome to Streaming for Vengeance, a longtime dear friend of BraveWords, Mr. Peter Tägtgren. This is so very awesome to see you again. It's been a while.
You too.
It's been a couple of years.
Yeah, it's been a while now. I think last time was Summer Breeze for?
It was Summer Breeze 2019.
Yep.
And I don't know if you played me this record. You showed me something. Maybe you played a song. So this is...
Yeah, maybe I did a couple of songs because by then we had almost... I think we had all the songs done. Maybe not the lyrics, but the songs at least.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of a taste. So for 2 years... Some bands don't know when to walk away. I'm not going to mention any names when they have creation and they just stay in the studio, and you know who I'm talking about. So if this thing was almost done since 2019, what kind of fiddling, what does it take for you to walk away and say, okay, let's lock this door, it's a done deal?
Yeah, I mean, after I met you of 2019, I still had to do a few tours, so to say, you know, Lindemann tour, we opened up for Amon Amarth in December and then kept on going with the Lindemann in 2000 beginning. And then after that, when everything stopped, then I just laid on the couch for a half a year and just breathing because I was overworked. I mean, I went into a wall 2015, but I was dumb enough to, you know, write a new Pain album instead of resting. So sometimes, you know, the... how do you say the creativity takes over the insanity, you know?
So how have you been staying sane during this whole COVID thing? You also have a studio, so I'm sure you've been busy with that.
Nope.
So
I really took it easy. I mean, there's a few projects I've been working on since for a while that's coming up. One project that I wrote all music for and produced for a guy, which is going to be pretty cool, I think. And that took some time. You know, we released the Lindemann album, 19 or 18, and touring with that. And yeah, time flies, you know. So for the last year, I've been cleaning up things I have to do that I didn't do over the last 5-6 years. So, you know, I was mainly cleaning up in my own pace and just taking it easy without going crazy, you know. And the first thing was, of course, to fix the hypocrisy stuff, you know, because there were still songs to sing on, lyrics to make, and things like that. So,
well, as you know, I'm a longtime fan of yours and of this particular style, and I think fans are going to be really, really pleased with this record. It's a stunner, man. You should be proud. It's
thank you. I don't know what to think, you know, because I'm so involved in it. So it's really hard to say, is it good enough or is it not, you know? But for me, when I felt like, okay, it's done, I was happy. So now it's up to people to tell me what they think, you know?
Well, the first song we saw and heard was the whole Chemical Whore. It must be a bit of a COVID tie-in, but it reminds me of one of my favorite songs that just keeps recurring in my head, Reversed Reflections, and The Drugs Don't Work Anymore.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. That came to fruition.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, Chemical Whore, I think I wrote the lyrics to in 2018 or something like that. We did the video almost 2 years ago exactly right now, 2019 in September.
Wow.
So there was no COVID, and it's not an anti-vax song like people think, but, you know, think whatever you want. But this was before that. So, you know, it's just coincidence how things get. And there's a lot of lyrics I wrote like 2-3 years ago. If you listen to them, it's kind of scary, you know, because it feels like that's what we're living right now.
Yeah, you're like a Nostradamus of the death metal.
Yeah, right. No, but I'm just saying it's. I don't want to say it's a lucky shot because it's what I'm writing about. It's not so happy, I would say, you know, with all the fucking government controlled shit that's been going on for hundreds of years. You know, gets worse because now we have the freedom called internet, and they try to kill us there. Whoever doesn't think as the government think, you know, they will erase you.
Right. Well, we kicked this thing off with Worship, a little bit of a Battery feel to it.
Mm. Yeah.
With the acoustics, and it's a punishing song. That was the Chemical Horror. I'm like, okay, this is great, and listen to this from start to finish, and that's the first song. Wow, it's walk away bruised.
Cool, thank you. You got a chance to listen to the whole album, I hope.
I did. Yeah, it was just sent to me a couple of days ago. So yes.
Okay, great, cool. That's the most important thing. So yeah, I mean, I guess for this album, it's not. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel or anything. You know, I just want to make better songs. You know, that sounds Hypocrisy. It's a song we were struggling to find. When you start and when you finally have it, you should really embrace it, I guess. It's the same thing as when Maiden is releasing an album. You don't want them to sound like Judas Priest, you know, or AC/DC sounding like CC Top. You know, you want it to be what it's supposed to be. And my aim was just to write better songs, catchier, faster, slower, heavier, you name it, you know.
It does have a lot of peaks and valleys. You have the South of Heaven heaviness moments, right, where you don't have to be the fastest to be the heaviest.
Yeah.
And you've got like things like Worship, and particularly the riffs I'm hearing on Another Day and Dead World. That is a little unique. Do you know what I'm saying? Those two songs, the guitar sounds a little different.
Really? I didn't think about that. I mean, for Dead World, I can understand because it's Sebastian who wrote it, my son, you know.
Right.
But I don't know if I understand how you mean, though. I just, you know, record the songs, play the songs, and, you know, you think you're doing the same thing, but I don't know what you noticed there.
I wish I could play it for you, but you'll see it in the review. You'll see it in the review. Okay. Now, how do you... We're relatively the same age, keeping up the stamina to keep it fast and keep it that heavy. And your voice, how has like your voice matured over time? Because I'm hearing a lot of screams and you sound like a kid still.
Yeah, I don't know. Before I even started putting vocals on there, I started listening around to different albums we did, you know, and because sometimes, or maybe every time I put on vocals on a new song, it's like, okay, how should I sing this? There's nothing that comes up right away like this or like that. I usually try 2-3 different styles before I feel it, you know, like, does this fit to this song? Or should I change the style of the singing? And I guess over the later years, the vocal pitch got a little bit higher, but now I felt like going lower. So I don't know. I guess it's the how I feel for the day, so to say, you know, and what I think fits to the song. So it's a lot of juggling around with different styles and things until I find what this particular song should have in there when it comes to vocals.
And what are you listening for exactly when you attack it from a vocal standpoint?
Well, first of all, if you start from the beginning, you usually have a few seconds before the vocal comes in, you know, and as soon as the first line hits you, if it doesn't feel good, then redo, you know, then it's the wrong pitch. Then we try a higher one, or we try a lower one, you know, and that's how I got to do it. You got to start the song from the beginning and get totally into the riff and everything, and then the vocal comes in, boom, and that's your verdict. Good or bad, you know, that's how I do.
Now, Horg you can't even call him a machine on this thing. He's something out of this world, which kind of applies, I guess. He is just like on fire on this record. It is just, the timing's perfect. He's fast, he's slow, it's just unbelievable, his talent.
Yeah, definitely, it's Horg.
Yeah, he's just, how does he approach the drums? How do you guys work together when you're setting up? But Jimmy Page came to town a couple of years ago promoting his book, and he said that every Led Zeppelin record started with one thing, and that was the foundation of John Bonham's drums. Yeah. So how does Hypocrisy factor in the drums?
For me, since I am a drummer, I always think in rhythms in my head first, and then the melody or the riffing. That's how it goes. You know, if I get a good groove in my head, like, yeah, this, and then I start imagining riffs into that, and finally I get the riff, and then I take it down to the guitar and try to figure it out, put it into my computer and start programming drums, you know, and that's how I do to feel the groove together with the rhythm and stuff like that. So I usually write pretty much all the drum parts, and then, you know, I send it over to him and see if he wants to change. He puts in a few of his niche in there, and then we move on, you know.
How fast is he to get that stuff done?
Normal, I think. You know, sometimes, you know, drummers thinks different from each other. If I try to copy a certain drummer, I might not do it naturally what he does because he has his own style or whatever, and that's just the way it is. Every drummer has its own way of thinking. Okay, now I mean, like, look at Lars Ulrich, how he plays. He can hit the cymbal anywhere, anytime, you know. Usually never on one. He always hits it on two, and that's his style, you know. So I mean, that's how different things can be between things. But I usually pretty much program it up, not all the rolls and stuff, but definitely all the rhythms in there, you know, like the verses, the riffs, and all things that they fit together. And so he has that to listen to, and also I give him only the guitars with the click track, so he can try his things on there before he comes over. So he's usually very well prepared.
Now, it looks like the Nuclear Blast marketing machine is in full swing by your T-shirt.
This is our print.
That's your print, okay? So
yeah, so that will come out. I mean, we finally opened a web shop for the first time in 30 years. You know, a shop in any way. So let's see how we can take this. You know, because we never had that before. So we on hypocrisy'S.com. So we're starting slowly to build up a merchandise shop for us now. So
I think a lot of bands really want to keep it in-house. Right?
Yeah, that's what we do. I mean, we give Nuclear Blast 1 or 2 designs that they can use because they need some support as well. Right. And the rest we do ourselves.
So I'm leading to the ultimate question of the artwork.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was an idea that actually when I was in LA in 2018, I was laying in bed. I don't know what I was doing there, but I started getting this idea to play around with the next cover, what it would be. And I had this image of a pyramid, like what you actually see. And I wrote that down on a napkin, you know, with the crosses, and it looked really bad. And the only thing I could look when I look at it is like worship, you know. And so I sent it to Gerardo and asked him if he could help me get someone to get my ideas in real, so to say. So he got Blake to fix it, and I'm really happy with it. It's just what I wanted.
Where did the fascination with space and this whole alien thing, where does it stem from? Like when you're a little kid?
Yeah, childhood, I think, you know. It's something that interested me. I mean, I still, till today, I listen to podcasts every night about all kinds of shit, you know, anything from antimatter to dimensions to you name it, everything. I eat. That's, you know, my drug. I really enjoy it. That and news. I watch news like you wouldn't believe it. It's not good for your health, you know. But
not these days.
Somehow it drives me, pisses me off a lot, you know, but still keeps me in line to see what kind of fucking idiots are ruling the world. And that's pretty much what you can listen to on Greedy Bastards or Dead World, or there's a couple of songs that are kind of pulling down their pants, put it that way.
Yeah, no, right. When you look up at the sky, what do you see?
Freedom. You know, to look up in the sky and just watch the stars and shit there's nothing like it, you know.
Are you a big fan of the movies, the sci-fi flicks? Like, do you have any favorites?
Nah, that's just fantasies, you know. Well, I mean, I really do like to watch a good one, but I haven't really seen anything lately that kicked my ass, to be honest. Best one is still the first Alien movie, you know.
Right.
Pure terror all the way.
One of my favorite moments, speaking of aliens, is watching you headline at Vakken and lead off with Roswell. So I just had to add that in there. One of the most incredible moments in my life,
cool.
watching a band. Watching a band. What does the future hold?
Future holds that we're going to start scrap up places for doing tours. You know, I mean, there's a long waiting list in every fucking place nowadays. We actually had a tour set up for October, November this year, but in the end, in August, we said we can't do it because we don't know what the fuck is going on in Europe, you know. But we have North American tour already prepped and go. So that will be announced. I'm not sure exactly yet when, but I'll be around your neighborhoods.
Sweet.
That's for sure.
Very sweet. Not to end on a sour note, because he was a beautiful man, and I know you guys were friends, but that whole LG passing was a real hard-hitting death.
Sure was. So close as we were in the beginning before Hypocrisy started, you know, because he was supposed to be the singer. But I mean, we kept in contact all the time. We met up on festivals and shit like that, you know, and it was just really sad. I thought he was going to make it, to be honest, you know, and yeah, I guess it didn't work. You know, I have a lot of close friends that were in contact with him all the time, and it kind of went fast at the end, I guess.
Yeah, no,
and it really sucked. He was true fucking metal, you know. Him and his beer and his music, you know, that was his life, and I really dig that style.
Well, it makes us all kind of want to like look in the mirror and like, hey, it's take advantage of every day.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, this fucking cancer, you know, I can get into that shit as well, but you know, it's like a COVID, you know, in a how do you call it, in a civilized way, so to say. I still believe we can fix you know, cancer since a long time back, but I don't think they want us. For me, it feels like this whole fucking shit is what I was reading about in the 90s and shit, about depopulation of the human race. And I was singing about that in, I don't know if it was on the last album, the song The Eye, or if it was one of the other ones. I even have samples where people are, I mean, government people talking about they want to depopulate the earth. Things like that. So I just see it as a big fucking clean out.
Yeah. Sad states, man. Sad state.
Fuck yeah. It's really sad. And you never know where to get it. If you get it in food or if you get it in the air or whatever. And like I'm singing, you know, it's hard to live with the aluminum in your veins, you know, running around. So, I mean, I think, yeah, we're just guinea pigs. That's all there is, or workers for other people.
Right.
Yeah.
On that pleasant note, thank you so much. It's the music is helping. The music really is therapy. It really is therapy.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, for me to create, you know, is therapy for me. You know, sometimes I create too much and I hit the wall, you know, and then I have to slow down. But I guess that's why I'm here, you know, to try to write music for people to enjoy.
Well, and you've done